Apple has been one of the world's biggest companies in the last decades. With a total valuation of over $2 trillion, we could assume that they can dominate any sector that they get into. However, when it comes to the automobile industry, Tesla, which crossed the $1 trillion mark in the month of October 2021, has been making the most significant impact. Recently, Apple made the decision that they wanted to challenge the automotive industry by introducing their own vehicle in the market, which made the minds of the audience lead to question what exactly is the Apple car, and can the Apple car be in competition with Tesla? Stick around to the end to find out more about this epic battle. As we all know, Apple is a technology corporation based in the United States that produces computers, smartphones, tablets, computer accessories, and software. But a couple of weeks ago, it was presumed that they would also have a full self-driving car in the market, possibly by 2024. So what is the competition about? Today, we'll discuss the Apple automobile and compare it to Tesla's electric cars, as well as everything else that surrounds these titans. Since it was scheduled to be shut down in 2016, we haven't heard much from Apple's self-driving car project, Titan. However, there have been sporadic dribbles of information, notably the mid-2019 rescue of Drive AI, a floundering self-driving vehicle company. However, shocking news has emerged that Apple could be on the verge of becoming a serious Tesla competitor, creating a clash of the titans. According to Reuters, Apple Incorporated is pushing forward with self-driving car technology and wants to produce a passenger vehicle in 2024 that could use its innovative battery technology. Apple has progressed far enough that it now plans to build a car for the public. The car is also said to have a new battery architecture that could boost range while cutting cost, which is good news for electric car fanatics limited with low-range options like the Nissan Leaf or pricey options like Tesla's, with only a few other options in between. Apple has considerable engineering capabilities, but it is not a car manufacturer, and the Apple automobile will be constructed by a third party. Apple may alternatively focus on building the software and intelligence for an Apple self-driving car before licensing the technology to the automotive partners. However, Apple, which generally has owned all of their intellectual property, would be making a big move by licensing their software to different companies, making it the first time that they would be dependent on third-party producers. A battery technology known as lithium iron phosphate is one of the most potential breakthroughs. It's considered to be safer than lithium-ion batteries and has the potential to deliver more range. Apple, which began as a computer firm, has developed into a consumer electronics powerhouse and is the #1 company as per market valuation. Many people have wondered how the firm would continue expanding and what else it will do because it is so large and phones are becoming commoditized. On the other hand, Tesla stands at #6 as per market valuations, dwarfing the rest of the auto industry, and its value has risen substantially in recent years as investors see Tesla as a leader in the electrification of the world's car fleet and self-driving technology. Tesla has been compared to Apple countless times over the years, almost always in a positive light. According to a recent study from the Washington Post, this isn't a coincidence, and copying Apple works both ways. Apple, on the other hand, has a massive cash hoard of well over $350 billion. To help you understand how big that number is, Apple's revenue stands higher than Nissan, Intel, Reliance, and Sony combined. Though to acquire a company like Toyota, Apple would have to borrow a small chunk of money, roughly $10 billion. Apple could purchase 2 Volkswagens, 3 Daimlers, nearly 4 BMWs, 4 Hondas, nearly 6 Fords, and 10 Nissans with their valuation sum. To put it another way, if Apple decides that the best way to get into the automobile industry is to buy an existing player and turn them into a production component in its global go-to-market plan, they can do it with ease. Keeping in mind, we can expect valuations in the automobile industry to rise due to this news, even if it's just for acquisition speculation. However, there is one part where Apple has a significant disadvantage, and that is in their artificial intelligence. While Tesla is a market leader for AI, Apple lags behind Google and Microsoft, which hint that they will need to seriously invest in their AI to match the quality and efficiency provided by Tesla. According to interviews with around 6 unidentified former Tesla and Apple employees, the resemblance to Apple is intentional, as Tesla hired Apple managers who brought some of the tech giant's culture with them as they brought members of their teams from Apple. Tesla considers itself a tech company rather than an automaker, and many ex-Apple employees were dismissive of the auto industry veterans. Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, has been comparing the company to IT titans like Apple since at least 2010, and the possibility of Apple buying Tesla has been raised on several occasions. It's also simple to make a comparison just based on products. Tesla's electric cars and Apple products are both presented as high-end things, with a high-tech innovation motive which supposedly justifies the ridiculously high prices, as many have said for both companies. A former Apple executive designed Tesla's showrooms, thus, the shopping environment is similar. Both Apple and Tesla have a history of developing their hardware and software ecosystems. Tesla, for example, uses the supercharger DC fast charging standard, whereas Apple uses the Lightning connector. Due to Tesla's heavy-handed attitude towards its so-called full self-driving capacity, buyers are starting to experience the impact of the company's closed environment. Tesla has the option to disable the feature, which, despite its name, does not allow for autonomous driving. Although it's software-based, it is also non-transferable. To enable FSD in a car, the buyers would need to pay $10,000, and if they plan on upgrading the car in the future, they will not be able to enable FSD in the next car, meaning they will have to pay another lump sum to get the same feature again. However, Musk has stated that the carmaker is looking into increasing trade-in values for cars with the feature. In 2016, Musk also stated that Apple might start manufacturing electric automobiles around 2020. That certainly did not materialize, but Apple was rumored to be in talks with Hyundai and Kia last year, but the conversations fell through. Consistent reports of an Apple car imply that Silicon Valley and the media that covers it treat autos and technology as if they were the same. Apple CEO Tim Cook alluded to its efforts in driverless vehicles in response to recent reports that Apple is resuming discussions to make its car. In a podcast with Kara Swisher, Tim Cook said that autonomy is, in my opinion, a key technology. When you take a step back, the car is, in many ways, a robot. A self-driving automobile is a robot. As a result, there are many things you can do with autonomy. He further commented, "We look into a lot of things internally. Many of them will never be seen again." However, Cook subtly declined to answer when asked if Apple was working on a car, and dodged by talking about technology in general by saying, "We enjoy integrating hardware, software, and services, and discovering their crossing places since we believe this is where the magic happens. So that's what we enjoy doing." Apple has long been expected to enter the auto market, either with its vehicle or by selling its technology to other manufacturers, and has taken a number of steps to signal that it plans to do so. To further increase its technical ranks, the company purchased Drive AI, an autonomous car startup, in 2019. A self-driving car might help the company compete with Tesla, which is working on its own self-driving technology. In 2018, Apple rehired Doug Field, who was then Tesla's senior vice president of engineering, to work on self-driving cars. Michael Schwikach, a former Tesla vice president of engineering who is now the senior director of engineering for Apple's Special Projects Group, is one of the company's new hires as well. Last year, Elon Musk admitted that he tried to initiate conversations with Apple about selling the company to Apple, but his dates just did not match Tim Cook's. In the same podcast with Kara Swisher, when asked about his relations with Musk, Cook said, "I've never spoken with Elon Musk, despite my adoration and respect for the firm he's founded. I believe Tesla has done an incredible job not just establishing but also maintaining the lead in the EV industry for such a long time. As a result, I have a lot of respect for them." According to CNBC, to create an Apple-branded autonomous electric vehicle, Apple is nearing a deal with Hyundai Kia at the Kia assembling plant in West Point, Georgia. The automakers, on the other hand, later retracted their assertions.